My name's Mira Quigley and I am the Chair of the Royal Town Planning Institute for Northern Ireland for 2022. My theme for this year is Planning for Climate Outcomes, which is the theme of our conference today. Well, we've had a really varied programme touching on various different topics relating to climate outcomes. We opened the session with the Department for Infrastructure Minister addressing some of the challenges that he's seeing day to day in local communities in Northern Ireland who are dealing with the consequences of climate change and flooding and the need to build resilience and think about the locations of our developments and the way that we plan Northern Ireland and our local areas more effectively to deal with these challenges.
In the coming months, my department will be playing an active part in the development of a climate change action plan by 2023 that will set out ambitious policies and plans to deliver emission reduction targets in line with our first 5-year carbon budget.
The climate breakdown is a matter of great injustice, globally and locally. We know that the global inequalities include issues around who has historically emitted the most greenhouse gas emissions and which countries continue to emit the most emissions and emit more than their fair share of emissions, that there's even such a thing as a fair share of greenhouse gas emissions in the midst of a climate and ecological emergency.
Because I think if we can get over the infrastructure hurdle that we need to, and that's an investment, you'll end up with far healthier places where people can actually have a much more walkable and cyclable lifestyle that will actually ultimately support all the existing, places that we've got, like the city centre, because people will be closer and more connected.
The issues we have, however, for me, it's some of the estates have been built over the last 30-40 years at the edge of towns and cities, which have been housing estates only, and lucky if they're linked with a bus service. How we retrofit them, I think, is going to be incredibly difficult.
We're also beginning to see very recently a spike in what are called strategic cases. So you have litigants challenging maybe individual decisions, but doing so with a strategic focus. So the motivation of the claimant isn't just about stopping a particular application, but is about advancing climate aims or policies more generally. So you may find that your application or something that you're working on is used effectively as a test case.
Within Northern Ireland, we do have a unique set of challenges in that our local governments do not have the same range of powers that you would see elsewhere in the UK and Ireland. We don't have responsibility for health, for education, for regeneration, or for roads and transport. And so it is so much more important and imperative on us as planners to educate and bring all of our government and partners and decision makers along with us in understanding the power that a focus on place in which all of us have a role to play can actually help deliver on that. So for us a huge challenge is the siloed ways of working in which our government has sort of developed culturally, and breaking free from that.
The planning needs to be at the centre of us tackling the climate emergency. And actually we're the people who are trained to do that. We are the sustainable development experts. And I think for us as planners to put ourselves and see ourselves in that frame, marshalling all the different forces of the built environment professions, but also of the community together for us to create this future that's going to be low carbon, sustainable and equitable is the work of planning. And I think the time is right for us as planners to step into that limelight.
And finally, I think it's really highlighted for me how we as planners have the spatial expertise to think about things like inequality and the spatial inequality of climate change, but actually how we have a unique set of skills to be able to address that and actually bring that forward into our policies and plans in the future.